of you adventurers out there, this is day 2 of the Better Balance, Better Adventure workout series. It's a 5-part series. This is number 2. I really hope that you enjoy this. All you need is a household object, and I'll explain more when the video starts. But if you want more details about other things you can do for arthritis or where to find me, go ahead and click the description below. There's lots of links and things to so many other helpful resources. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we're going to actually start right out with this household object. You want it to be something that's just 1, maybe 2 pounds, nothing heavy, but that it can stand on its own. We're going to do lots of exercises with this, but for the first one, what I want you to do, you're going to stand just with your feet apart. And now, what you're going to do is you're going to pass it side to side. Kind of just a small toss. Make sure you don't drop it, or you can just hand it side to side. And now I want you to take your feet in even closer. Move them just a little bit closer. Same thing. We're warming up our nervous systems, getting some coordination going, but also starting to challenge our balance. And you're still just taking it side to side. Now I want you to take your feet as close as you can get them. If they can't touch, that's okay. As close as you can get them. Make sure you can stand here for 10 seconds. Then I want you to add in the side to side. This should start to be a little harder, but shouldn't necessarily be too challenging right now. Like I said, we're just kind of warming things up. And now what I want you to do, I want you to keep your feet in this position if you have no problem with it. If you need to take them out a little wider, that's okay. Keep your feet together. You're going to take your object and put it in your right hand. And you're going to cross, punch, just with that right side. Now you're going to take that cross and you're going to add in a side punch. So it's going to look like this. You're going to cross, come out to the side. Cross, come out to the side. Now when you're coming cross, I want you to turn your shoulders so you're not coming across this way. That can kind of compromise the shoulder. Turn and cross, and then straight out to the side. Turn and cross, straight out to the side. Like I said, if you need to move your feet just a little wider, you can, but I challenge you to really try to keep them as close together as you can. And we have 2 more on this side, and last one. And now you're going to switch arms. Same thing, we're just going to start with the cross first. So you're just coming across, turning those shoulders as you cross. We're not putting a ton of twist on the knee, so you're just kind of going at a diagonal. And now I want you to add in that lateral punch as well. So you're going to come cross to the side, cross to the side, cross to the side. Again, starting to get some of that coordination. Go as slow or as quickly as you can. Just make sure you're following the sequence. Awesome job. Keep those feet together. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I want you to take your feet apart. You can rest out of that position. Okay, now I want you to actually set your object on the side, and I want you to set it on the side of you, so make sure your feet and yourself is on one side of this object. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to actually step over it. So you're going to stand on that left side, again making sure your object isn't going to move. Stand on that left side, and you're going to step over and step back. Step over and step back. I want you to try to stay nice and light on this right side to start. Try to step all the way over it and not going around it. Try to get that leg up as high as you can. The further the object is away from you, the harder it will be because you have to reach a little bit. The closer it is, the easier it will be. So you can kind of modify however you want to. And now we're going to take this and we're going to step all the way over it. So you might need to move it just a little closer if it was further away. Now you're going to step completely over. And this one's going to start to get our heart rates up a little bit. So I want you to try to now pick up the speed a little bit. One thing you can do is actually try to kind of hop over it. Just a small one, hopping over it. Start to get that heart rate going. I like to use my arms and kind of send them forward. Again, make sure you're trying to actually step over it versus coming to the side of it. So really try to lift up. And we're going to go for about 10 more seconds here. So you should really kind of start to feel your heart rate increase. I know mine is. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now you're going to put that object on the other side. Stand on that right leg. And now you're going to do the same thing we just did on the left, but you're stepping over that object and coming back. Excellent. Try to stay nice and light on that left foot now. To make it harder, don't touch when you come back to the middle. To make it easier, just plant your full foot. Again, you should be feeling it in that right hip. And we're going to just go for about 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. We're going to go for 30 more seconds where you're now stepping over that object again. Make sure you take a big enough step that your other foot can fit, so it's not one of these. I really want you to get all the way over because you need more muscle strength and power to take a bigger step, which is where we're getting from. Smaller steps can be fairly easy. So I want you to try to take a big step, as big as you can. And like I said, try to add that little hop if you can. If not, not a big deal. You can just keep that step, but you can still take a big step over to the side. We have about 10 seconds left. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I want you to pick up this object again. Okay, now what we're going to do is I want you to put one foot in front of the other. Now, if my object is in my right hand, I'm going to put my left foot forward. I want you to get into a position like you were on a tightrope, where you can either keep your feet one directly in front of the other, or you can take them out to the side. Now, you're going to hold this position, and you're going to raise up and come back down. Switch the hand that object is in. Raise up as high as you can comfortably with your arms. If you can, I would like you to try to go overhead. This is going to make your balance a little bit harder. So go slow if you need to. The higher you raise your arms, the harder it's going to be. So if you need to, you can go directly in front of you. But I want you to challenge yourself to see how high you can get. Again, if this position is too hard for you balance-wise, just take your foot out a little bit wider. But I do want you to feel like your ankles are wobbling a little bit. All the way overhead. Okay, now we're going to do one other thing in this position. So I want really challenging you to keep in this position. We're challenging balance under fatigue. You're going to take your object, and what I want you to actually do is bring it around your body. Bring it around your body. Try your best with this one. If you have a can or something, you can turn it to the side so that way you don't have to reach back as far. And now I just want you to go opposite side. So you can turn it to the side and keep it to the side. We're working those shoulders too, so try to keep those shoulders back. 3, 2, and 1. Now actually we're gonna do one more thing on this side. So you're gonna stand on your right leg still, and you're gonna tap heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. You can just hang on to your object. Heel, toe. So you're just tapping forwards and backwards, but you're adding that heel toe, and you should really start to feel just a little bit of fatigue on that right side. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. We're going to do those 3 things on the opposite side. So now the object is going to be in my left hand if you're following me. My right foot is going to be forward, and my left foot is going to be back. Again, find a position that's challenging, but you can maintain. Once you have that, stand there for about 10 seconds, make sure you can, and then we're raising all the way up again and coming back down. Again, I challenge you to see how high you can raise that object, because it's going to make it a little bit more challenging. But again, if you need to, you can just take it right out in front of you. And all you're doing is switching hands. And we're going to stay here for about 15 more seconds, just raising your hands. Modify your foot position if you need to. And now we're going to take it around your body. So again, hanging onto the object and then taking it right around you. Turn it to the side if you need to. If this is difficult, you can just pass it side to side, but I would like you to try to see if you can take it all the way around. And now you're going to switch, so you're going to rotate the other way. And we have about 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Now you're standing on that left leg still, and you're tapping heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Awesome job. Keep going. Again, this one's not really about speed, it's more about control. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I want you to set your object down on the ground. And we're gonna go back to those side to side hops. So again, taking a big step, as big as you can, over and then back. Keeping it to a step, but trying to speed it up a little bit, or adding that small hop side to side. Here we go. We have about 15 seconds left. Really try to push yourself, get your heart rate going a little bit. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I actually want you to face your object. And now you're going to put one foot on top of it. The smaller the object, the harder this is going to be. I'll warn you right now. If you have a bigger object, it'll be a tad easier. All I want you to do is just stand right here. And this is a little harder than it looks, especially if you have a small object. You should feel that back leg really trying to keep yourself there. And I want you to really focus on looking forward instead of looking down at your feet. So we're looking straight ahead. Most of your weight is in that back leg. You have some weight on that front leg. And now I want you to switch. Same thing, other side. So put that one foot up there. Try to keep it light. You're essentially standing on one leg with just a little bit of support. So this one you may need a wall or something, just in case. But you should really start to feel that back leg working. If you lose your balance, just try to restabilize and switch. We're gonna do one more time each side. So foot up on top of it. Find your stability. Try to look ahead. And we're gonna go for about 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and switch other side. So just lightly place it on top, looking straight ahead. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, if you want to go ahead and pick that back up, one foot in front of the other again. Balance does get much harder under fatigue, so the longer we do these balance exercises, the harder it will become. Take your object, so my left foot is in front, or my right foot is in front, sorry. Right foot in front, so the object's in my left hand. And you're going to do the same thing that we started with. You're punching across and punching straight out. Across, straight out. Across, straight out. Now this time I want you to try to speed it up a little bit. This is actually going to make it a little bit harder, but I want to see if you can get your heart rate going a little bit too. So take it across, side, across, side. Woo, across, side, across, side. Again, if you need to move your foot just a little wider, you can. And we're going for about 15 more seconds here. 3, 2, and last one. All right. If it was a little bit harder this time, that is okay. We're adding a little bit of speed, but also we're a little bit fatigued as well. Switch. So the object's now in my right hand and my left foot is in front. Find a good position for you. And here we go again. You're going across, inside, across, inside. Try to keep your balance again. Try to keep your gaze ahead of you and not staring down at your feet. So I want you to try to stay up tall. Across, side, across, side. 5, 3, 2, and last one. Okay, so now this one you do want to make sure you have a can of food or you have a can of something, even if it's a light dumbbell. We're actually just going to be tossing it, and so make sure you have something that you are able to do that too. Okay, so I want you to stand with your feet together. And now what we're going to do is you're just going to toss and catch. Toss and catch. I would like it if you could catch with one hand. If you need to, you can catch with both and you can throw with both. But I would like to see if you can throw and catch with one hand. So you just need to throw it at about eye level. You don't have to necessarily throw it up super far. That will make it harder. So just find something that you can do, but all you're doing is just tossing this back and forth. Again, if you need to, you can toss both hands, and it doesn't even need to be high. We just want to react and have ourselves keep our balance, because that's what a lot of times happens is we react, but then it throws us off balance, like if we trip over something or if we drop something. So this way, you're really working on your coordination while you're staying in that balanced position. And this actually gets your heart rate up a little bit too. Okay, we have about 10 seconds here, so find your rhythm. Even if it's just a small toss, I just want you to really work on catching and throwing while being in a position. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Now, we just have a couple more exercises, so I want you to take one step backwards. So my right foot is in front and my left foot is behind. And I want you to take like a huge step backwards, bigger than you think you need to. Okay, now from here, I want you to keep your back foot straight. Try not to let it come out to the side. Okay, from here, what I want you to do is into just a small lunge position and then stand up. Someone's pushing you straight down and then you're standing up. Straight down and standing up. Straight down, bending both knees and standing up. And now you're just taking that object and just passing it back and forth as well. It's just a small bend, so it shouldn't necessarily flare up pain. It's just working those quad muscles. And then the object is just to kind of take your mind off it a little bit. And now I want you to switch. Same thing, take a huge step back, bigger than you think you need to. Find your balance first. This can be a difficult position to balance in. Same thing, I want you to bend both knees like someone's pushing you straight down. Bend and up. Bend and up. A little bit of discomfort is okay here. We just don't want significant pain. Make sure your back foot is straight. And then add in that object. You're just passing it back and forth. It doesn't really matter when, just as long as you can keep it moving. Someone's pushing you straight down, so we're not lunging forward. And we have about 15 seconds left here. You can bring your heel up. It's going to be pretty difficult for you to keep your heel on the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so for the last thing, you're gonna set that object on the ground one more time, and we're gonna do, I wanna try to go for about 45 seconds of stepping over and stepping back. Again, adding that hop if you can. Here we go. You're coming across, stepping over that object so you're not going behind it. Really try to lift that leg up as high as you can. Use that power to take a nice big step. We have about 15 seconds left, so keep it going. Try to get that heart rate going a little bit. And rest. Okay, so we can actually just set this object to the side. We are done with that. Now all I want you to do, lift one leg and the other. Try to stand up nice and tall. I would like to see if you could look forward instead of down at your feet. It's going to make the balance just a little harder. Lift them up as high as you can. If it's just here, that's okay. And now we're taking those steps forward and back. And through this, I want you to try to take some deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. So 1, 2, 3, inhale, and then exhale. Nice and slow. And now we're gonna go just to those back kicks again that we started with, where you're taking your heel back. Again, try to take those deep breaths. Inhale and exhale as you're pushing that heel back. Deep breaths, try to slow your heart rate down. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. All right, now what I want you to do is you're going to stand just feet about shoulder width apart, and we're just going to go back to that rotation, and I just want you to reach as far as you can. We don't rotate very often in daily life, so we want to be able to maintain the ability to do that, which is why we practice it here. So you're just reaching, again, turning your shoulders with that reach. And we have about 5 left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you bring your feet together just as close as you can. Now you're going to relax your knees a little bit, and we're going to come up into a big deep breath. So inhale, fill your stomach up with air instead of really coming up this way. Reach your arms all the way up, and then exhale and bring them down. We're going to do 5 here. That was 1. Inhale up, fill your stomach up with air, and then come back down. We have 3 more. Up, raise your arms just as high as comfortable. You can just kind of come out into the front, and then exhale on the way down. Let's just do 2 more. Raise up and down. Last one. Raise up and down. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. My name is Dr. Alyssa Kuhn, and I'm with Keep the Adventure Alive, because we are in the business of doing that, keeping your adventure alive, even if you have chronic joint pain or arthritis. Balance is super, super critical in this process, and so I really hope that you'll join us for day 3.